Got it. Recording in progress. I think we're live. I think
Yeah,
here
we're
we
live.
are.
We're live.
Yeah. Sooner Nation Week 6 recap show. Gonna get it on, even though it didn't go great for some of us. I don't know. Let's just unless you got anything else, you want to just jump right in?
Let's just jump right in.
All right, let's go with Chris and Jeremy. Oh
Okay.
boy. Yeah, Chris just wallops Carr here. 104.63.
Yeah.
Like Chris is finally rewarded for sticking with Dak Prescott. He had to choose whether to roll with Carr or Dak, and I have it on good authority. It was a very tight decision for him. Justin Tucker coming through, finally reminding everybody why he's the best. A lot of Raiders here for Chris, which doesn't seem like a great strategy, but 104 points. He's 3-3, 2-game winning streak, so he's got it working in October. Boy, what a flaccid performance for the dude. Disappointment just up and down the card. Keenan Allen's number 2 on the season, so he's great. Jeremy didn't have a lot to work with, and he did even less with it.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is the first week that I've rooted for the Cleveland Browns since they traded for Deshaun Watson. And I mean, that's going to be a game that we talk about that had impacts up and down the league. But
sure.
Cleveland's upset of the 49ers 19-17 was just incredible.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to a game, I want as many players as possible on my team that I can watch live. So we're going to get to the Vegas game later. But I applaud Chris. He's stuck with the Las Vegas Raiders to have his as ultimate amount of fun because I think fantasy football should be fun. And also, he loves the Cowboys, so he's got to roll with Dak. I like the strategy of have as much fun as I can. And I just love that Tucker made 6 field goals and missed an extra point. Like he missed the easiest of all of those, but he scored 18 points for Chris. Congrats to Chris.
Yeah, let us score.
He's playing the Karate Kid next week. So, but I like that two of these teams are 3-3. Lots of 3-3 teams. So we're looking forward to
half the league.
Half the league 3-3. So it's crazy. It's great. So let's go ahead and kick it to the next game.
Oh boy. Yeah, Jeff takes down Shane 95-84. Kind of a lackluster performance for the defending champs, but it's enough for a win. It's kind of how Jeff's season's been so far. He's won 3 out of the last 4. He's only broken 100 points since week 1. Wow. That's the last time he broke 100.
Wow.
Boy, Thielen though, Adam Thielen, cash money.
Yeah.
They're easing Eckler back in. Boy, Jeff really needs him at full strength to get back to Rhino power.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that Mahomes will score 50 points this year?
Eventually.
Okay. I do think that Mahomes is interesting. He used to be worth, I felt like he was going to go 50 to 70 every week. Yeah. And he seemed bored against Denver. Like he's maybe paying more attention to something else in the stands. But yeah, you're right. Thielen is a breakout old star that you just, nobody's going to have him, but he's just going to produce week in and week out. And I think the Rhinos, Sam Laporta, my goodness. I mean, this may be the least amount of points he scores the rest of his career. I just think he's great. So we'll get
on Shane. Go ahead.
We'll get to the Chargers later, but I feel like I'm in some sort of warp when it comes to, I've got 2 teams I root for. The Oregon Ducks, who continue to go for it on 4th down and fail, and the Los Angeles Chargers, who continue to go to it on 4th down and fail. Now, it's super exciting, but it is terribly frustrating. And if I were Jeff, I'd be continually frustrated that Eckler just didn't get fed the ball out of those 4th and 1s or to come up with some sort of play to get him getting first downs. But I am in a world where my 2 favorite teams in the NFL and college just continue to fail on 4th and 1, 2, or 3. It's really exhilarating is the word I'm going to use. I'm not going to say frustrating. It's exhilarating. So you were going to say something.
Fun. On Shane's side, that Josh Allen kind of looks mortal. His 2nd worst game of the season. Shane's 2nd loss in a row.
Yeah.
I guess trading Saquon did not get the message across. Does Coach Coward need to resort to even more extreme methods here? What's the problem?
I don't know. I always will trust Shane as a coach, but sending Saquon, trading him is amazing. I loved his banter on the message board, taking shots at you and I that we've never sent him a trade offer. Thought it was hilarious. I was alone in my living room laughing out loud when I got it. I thought that was absolutely great. I don't know. He's heavy on Philly and Buffalo. But I don't know. 84 points is not very many, but Josh Allen, he's got that hurt shoulder. I don't know. He's got too much firepower. He's going to be fine. These 2, 3, and 3 teams are going to be fine. We'll see him in the playoffs, both of them, I think.
I feel like I've sent Shane offers over the years, so many offers, and he just rejects me time and time again. Where now I don't ask him to the dance anymore.
Oh, okay.
I just had my heart broken too many
That may be
times.
true. I don't go to dances either. So, being a Nazarene ordained elder. So, let's see the team that scored the second most points in the week over
Yeah,
the 1 and 5 Hellhounds.
man, yeah, these transposed numbers here, 5-1 and 1-5. Josh takes down John 108.99. It's looking like John's going to have another top 4 pick, which Josh has possession of. So this win's all the more satisfying. They're just digging that hole deeper for him.
Yeah.
Just making sure that's a real nice, juicy pick now.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas comes back to earth after he looked like Antonio Gates last week.
Yeah.
Rashad White with a game more commensurate to his skills. Big games from Amon-Ra and Etienne carries the ghosts.
Yeah.
Man, if Brock Purdy turns into a pumpkin without McCaffrey out there, like John is in big trouble at quarterback.
John will make a trade for a quarterback. We came on this show last week and said all of our faith was in Brock Purdy, and Debo goes down and CMC goes down, and he's left with 12 of 27 with an interception. I mean,
nasty. Cleveland, though. I think they're the best defense of the league.
I think so too. I think they're a start every week defense in our league, no matter who they're playing. But to have Mostert go for 31 and to not break 100 seems like it probably won't happen again. But I'm not afraid of that. The Hellhounds at 1 and 5, we're all rooting for them because we don't want Josh to have a top 2 pick in the draft. But once he trades one of those great wide receivers for a quarterback, he'll be fine.
Yeah, Mostert is number 2 in the league right now. Like, we all saw that coming. Boy, he's just tearing it up. I mean, you hope he can keep it going. You want to move on, Jay and John?
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. My goodness. That's the Dolphins. The Dolphins rushing attack. No one saw it coming. So, this is a 5-1 team versus 0-6. Hit it, Aaron.
Yeah, this was just. This was a pile driver off the top rope. It's just gross. Thank goodness for Pastor John, or else the Hellhounds and the Cobras would really feel down. Thankfully, for them, the Pharisees just find new levels of despair. It's tough for John just because all of his guys are just on bad teams. I mean, I guess that's not true. The 49ers pretty great, but who's fun to watch? None of these guys are like, I can't wait to see what Ramondre is up to today.
Yeah. No, it is. He doesn't watch this, but man, Jay has a pedestrian week and wins by 20.
Yeah. 5-1, 3 in a row. It's a down week for Coach Bond, but man, Pharisees insured. It's enough. I feel like the Vipers are now they're gonna have some positive regression after this. Like, it feels like their guys are gonna come back up to where they're supposed to be. All 3 division winners have a 2-game lead now. Jay's one of those. They're just pulling away. He's just in an easy spot, it feels like. And I think his guys are going to start playing better.
Yeah, I do too. Henry looks great every other week right now. But the way that Burrow looks, Mixon's got to have a great second half of the season. And I think Hurts is just going to get better. I mean, they obviously had that Philly Jets game. And we'll talk about the pick 'em in a second, but my goodness. I wonder how the Survivor picks did this week when both of our undefeated teams both took a loss. I'll be curious to see if anybody had those in the Survivor. But Jalen Hurts, 3 INTs. I was kind of hoping for one of those games where the negative points just kept falling a team down so someone could come up. But John continues to just not score points. So we're all going to be rooting for John to get Caleb Williams rather than Josh Weiss. So
do we think Hurts is injured? Is it just Lane Johnson being out? What's the problem?
I don't know, man. I think he's going to be fine. but he doesn't seem. I thought he doesn't seem to be as good as the last 2 years. So,
Yeah. Although the Jets have been messing people up. Robert Saleh will tell you that. He'll
well,
tell you what they do to quarterbacks.
they did play what did Saleh say? They played like the top 3 MVP vote getters the last. They played the last 3 MVPs the last 3 weeks and did fine. So
Yeah, he's got a point. So
I'm just I'm okay. Yeah, I'm tired of seeing a guy with a torn ACL or torn Achilles like throwing passes on the sideline. I'll just keep passing on that for the rest of the season for me.
okay.
Ooh,
Oh boy,
a
Brandon
close game.
Yeah, yeah. This was the closest game of the week. This is what led us to this 3-3 logjam with 6 teams all together.
Yeah.
Brandon just took down Chad 99-94. The teams seem to be headed in opposite directions. Chad's lost 2 in a row. Justin Jefferson's hamstring is just keeping him from that ceiling.
Yeah.
Chad's been sub 100 since Jefferson went out. He was averaging 125 a game back when Jefferson was out there. Rolking Tolkien's though, they got to be feeling good. Like 2 in a row. The only thing keeping him above being 500 was, the enigmatic Cobras next week. So we'll see. We'll see if he can do that. Rough injury week though. We got to see how much heart they have and they respond.
Yeah. I mean, Lawrence, I don't think Lawrence is going to play on Thursday. And then I don't know how many weeks CMC is going to be out, but man, it's such a bummer. He's so special with the ball. Brandon every week getting the chance to, of course, root for the terrible Jags, but then also the most exciting running back and the most exciting wide receiver, at least top 2 for both of those positions, has to be fun to just turn on the television and watch Miami to see what Tyreek did this week with the flip in the end zone with the camera. I'm sure everyone's seen it a bunch of times. Was awesome. I love him. He's incredible.
Yeah, that's a fun squad. Fun guys.
Yeah. Oh, the game of the week this week was brought to you, of course, by Dr. Gresham and his wife, Linda, and the foundation, the Gresham Family Foundation. And do you remember who was playing in that this week, Aaron?
I kind of thought we were done. I thought we went through all the games.
There was one left. Oh, here it is. Oh, it was the high point score of the week, which this has to be the lowest high point score of the week in a very long time. There was nobody cracked 110 this week. But what happened in this game?
Sometimes an athlete will have like a kind of an off game. And then afterwards they'll be like, well, Barkley was at the craps table till 5 a.m, and then I think we kind of have a situation like that with the Cobras. I think they just had a lot going on. They maybe partied a little too hard, weren't too focused on the game, didn't quite care enough. Maybe the issue. In hindsight, maybe a little too early to push the Cobras into the game of the week after just one spectacular week. Not with some of these matchups. It was ugly. But look, when you have the kind of weekend like I had, one of the best weekends of my life, it makes these silly pursuits like fantasy football just trivial, meaningless. So you can have the win, Jason. Have that. Feel good about yourself. I'll take the memories.
I will take the win. Felt like the team up and down the board performed pretty well. Joe Burrow with 4.7 points in the second half was fascinating. Yeah. He got off so hot with 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and I just thought that the Karate Kid was going to be sunk. Steadily climb back in to take the victory on Monday night. But let's talk about those memories, because really fantasy football is really, Aaron, it's just an avenue for friendships. And so tell us a little bit about the weekend and maybe this picture and the next.
Yeah. I can't even tell where that is. We are watching football somewhere, it looks like. Probably. Oh, no. Oh, I know exactly where this is. We got the Raiders jersey on. This is Mandalay Bay. We were having our traditional double white Russian breakfast, watching all the games here. And I took this shot right after, I believe, a Joe Burrow touchdown.
Okay.
With that in the background.
Yeah.
That was for you. We left at halftime to walk to the stadium. So I didn't know Joe was just pooping the bed for the second half. Like, all I knew is he already has 2 touchdowns. Here we go. Let's eat it. Suck it, Karate Kids. So yeah. Feeling pretty good when I sent that picture. Feeling confident.
Yeah, And the next one is another picture of you. By the way, a stunning pic. I mean, an early leader for perhaps an obituary picture here. I thought it was just great because hopefully not an obituary for the Cobra Kai. But I was actually doing a funeral during the second half of the Cincinnati game. I texted you. If I don't respond back to your trash talking, it's because I'm gonna be officiating a funeral. And got this picture when I got done with the funeral, and just thought it was awesome. Tell us about the game and the stadium.
The stadium is amazing. It is like it's like this work of art spaceship has just landed there in the middle of the strip, and fortunate enough to have really great seats. Great enough seats
that looks like you're on the 35. How many rows up?
Yeah, 13. I think we're on the 13th yard line, or 13 rows up. Yeah, somewhere high 30s yard line.
Awesome.
And the halftime show was Mr. T.I.
Okay. Oh my God, that's incredible.
So everybody around us went to the snack bar, so it just cleared out. But the three of us, we stayed for the halftime show, and I was hyped, and Josh was like 3 levels above me. Chris is having a good time too, but Josh is like in the stratosphere somewhere, out of his mind. So it's empty around us. We have great seats, so the camera finds us, and we're going crazy. I don't even know it. Josh sees it. We keep dancing. The first time the camera found us, I think, was a "You Can Do Whatever You like that song. Yeah,
yeah.
So then though for the closer, it's Maya he Maya ha ha, and we're living our life, hey, and going crazy. And I look up, and there we are on the jumbotron again. 2 jumbotrons. It was so cool.
That's incredible, man. What a memory. What a moment. What a memory. That's incredible.
Yeah, and if you saw the way the game ended, it was a very exciting ending of the game because we needed some points to get the cover.
Yes. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we need the points to get the cover. It looks like there's no way we're going to cover this game. We've all got bets. We've all got reasons to root for this to cover. It doesn't happen. And then there's a punt. It's Mac Jones with the ball. I'm thinking they're going to get in the field goal range. My friends are like, there's no way. They're right. Mac Jones is terrible. And here comes the red-haired dude. I always know his name, but Max Crosby just comes flying in and just sacks the crap out of Mac Jones. Safety, cover. And then we got to see an onside like punt. Like they tried to do an onside from the kick after the safety, which I'd never seen that before. So that was really fun.
That's incredible. So what was the line on the game heading in? Because it ended up being Raiders won by 4. So the Patriots.
So I think the line was 3.5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, there was a play in the first half. I got to see Devonta Adams' life leave his body for a moment, and his spirit kind of like hovered there over him, and then it decided to come back into his body and let him keep being a football player.
Were you surprised he came back to play another down?
Yes. Yeah, especially in the modern NFL.
That's great.
Thanks. Chris was locked in because we were on that sideline, and he was like telling us, "Oh, he doesn't have his helmet. Oh, he's in the tent." He was really keeping us clued in on the status.
It's fantastic.
Chris was the first one to notice that Garoppolo's back was injured. He called it way before.
Wow.
He called it in the first half. He said, "Oh, something's wrong."
Wow.
Yeah, he's very, very observant when it comes to that stuff.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about the weekend. I'm glad you had a chance to do that. I wanted to break down the standings. Excuse me. Here we have the 3 division leaders, and then we have the teams who are all 3-3 right behind them in each division, and then we have a team in each of the sellers. So pretty interesting after 6 weeks where we stand.
Yeah, that's gross.
Here we have the overall standings as listed by RT Sports. I'm not sure why the kid with the most points scored in the league is not number 1 there, especially since the kid is 3-0 in their division. We're not sure what's happened with this one. We'll talk with somebody, but this is the point standings. Who scored the most points? Who scored the least amount of points? And how many wins do you have?
Are we going to get these graphics like every week that you're in the lead? Is that what's going to happen?
We'll see. Probably if I'm not in the league, we'll probably stop. But the pick'em contest, The Ferris
Look at that.
Cobras, they rose to the top.
Yeah.
Rompers one back, and then Brandon and myself are two back. So that's this picks contest, and I thought this was shocking, especially the Buffalo. Do you have any insight on the Buffalo sweating the Buffalo game from Josh?
Yes, he was rooting against Buffalo, it felt like. I think he
Okay.
didn't. It was so exciting to think they were going to lose.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he had any money on that one, but I feel like in the moment he was rooting against them just because it was going to be so fun if they lost.
Yeah. I of all the weekends to be in Vegas, they had to absolutely just take a bath when it came to all of these huge upsets. And even not, Buffalo obviously not covering, but I liked that you picked a team that you were going to be at. What juice to have with having the Raiders being at the game. I loved it. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, I thought choosing the Raiders would give me a lot more. Like I could put a $5 bet down, but yeah, that's $5. You're not going to miss that. But I would miss being in this contest.
Yeah, yeah, love
I
it.
wanted
That's
some
juice.
real stakes.
That's great. The best ball
Real
this
stakes.
weekend. You can see the results. Some people are paying attention to this league. Some people are not. The team of the week scored the most points was Smitty with Tua, Raheem, Tyreek, and St. Brown. And this team Smitty is at the top of the points total there in the best ball standings. Although Team Smith does not have a tight end going forward. He's got Greg Dulcich and Noah Fant. Those are the two tight ends that he has. So that may be a position that is of need. May just have 0 points for that position going forward.
Yeah.
But we've got, of course, this week 7 preview coming up.
Man.
I'm looking forward to having you cover some of these games, starting off with Kidd versus Mahoney.
Yeah. Well, Chris doesn't have to sweat the Dak versus Carr this week. Either way, it's such a disadvantage against Justin Herbert. I hate this. I feel like it's a mismatch in Daniel Son's favor. Every position except maybe kicker. Chris is going to need a real healthy dose of that Mahoney magic to come through. It's hard to see it, but Jason, you're going to win. Come on.
Okay. I'll take myself as well. But as I was looking at this game, I thought to myself, I would hate having to have 4 players to watch in the Las Vegas Chicago game. That's a game that I would rather have not on my TV, but to have Jacobs, Moore, Jacoby, and the Raiders. He may switch out the Raiders defense, but I don't know. Chicago may have a backup quarterback, so that might be a big.
Yeah, that might not be a bad play.
Max Crosby may just. I don't even know who the name of the backup is in Chicago. He played a little bit now, but looks like Fields is not going to play. But I'll choose the Karate Kid for the victory as well. Really looking forward to the Kansas City at home versus the Chargers game. Yeah. I can't wait. So
Cooper Kupp seems to be like back.
Yeah. Mostly looking forward to that game. But I also like that I've got a Sunday night and Monday night game as well. I love having players going to night games. That makes it a lot of fun.
Very thrilling.
Now we cover your game.
Trash. It's an ugly one. Look, with Zach Wilson on bye, the Cobras are left with Geno Smith, the quarterback. So that may be better than Brandon's current situation, though. Trevor Lawrence got that iffy knee. Yeah. It's a Thursday night game, so he's got to decide then. I think best case for me is Lawrence kind of looks good out there and warms up, and Brandon talks himself into it, and then he tweaks it on the second drive. Like that's what I want. I want some of that kind of luck.
Sounds like the Cobra guy rooting for injuries. It's fantastic.
Yeah, hey man, a worldwide terrorist organization. Come on, what are we doing here? There's a couple Jones out there on the waiver wire.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's gonna do.
I'm curious about Brandon because his backup is Bryce Young, who's on a bye.
Right. He's got nothing. He's either got injured Trevor Lawrence or nobody.
Yeah, who do you think he would pick up on the waiver wire to be a quarterback? Who did you say?
Well, there's 2 Joneses out there. You can get Mac or Daniel.
Okay.
CJ Beathard, he could just pick up Lawrence's backup.
I believe it's CJ Beathard. I think you're pronouncing that incorrectly.
Okay, so he can have Joy Behar or Mac Jones or Daniel Jones.
Okay.
But there's not a lot.
Okay. He does have pickup opportunities on Wednesday and Saturday if he decides to not play Lawrence. Yeah.
Or maybe Lawrence comes out and looks great. I don't know.
Oh man.
I don't know. But Breece Hall's out. Khalil Herbert's out. Cobras are relying on Jonathan Taylor, who hasn't had a big game in 11 months.
Against Cleveland.
Yeah, yeah, and then he's playing against Cleveland, like the defense I do not want to go against.
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott and Antonio Gibson both got touchdowns last week, but neither one guy, I don't have a lot of confidence in either guy.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's banged up. I hope he's out. I hope Brandon waits to play him on Monday night, and then he doesn't play, and so he just doesn't have a player there. That would be. I'd love winning that way. I would love that. I don't know. Maybe Aaron Jones starts making a difference for him. Do you think he's going to come back?
Man,
Brandon's got the advantage at wide receiver. Just Tyreek alone. With Jamar Chase out.
Yeah.
Dotson's a big disappointment. He dropped a big touchdown this week.
Kyle Pitts did score for his first time this last season for his 4th touchdown in his career last week. So you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna, especially if he keeps Johnny Smith in there, I'm gonna roll with Pitts just because that's fun.
Oh,
That's fun. Just 2 tight ends on the same team. Like that sounds like a dumb plan. Like let's do it. Like
that does sound awesome. You've got to sweat the Tyreek on Sunday night, but Brandon's got the Thursday night Kirk. He's got the potential Monday night. I think he's going to rest McCaffrey. I'm taking Brandon for the win here. I just think that your team with so many buys will overcome Brandon with his injuries.
Well, I think I'm going to take his ass to Mordor and throw it into Mount Doom.
It's fantastic.
Go Cobras.
Got to take the Cobras. Fantastic. Here we've got another game where you want to break it down for us.
Defending champ Rhinos. They won 2 in a row, 3 of their last 4. Faces off against the 1-5 Hellhounds. I like Mahomes a little bit more than Brock Purdy, even if Patrick's got more commercials than touchdowns so far. Purdy's been good, but it was the Browns, so maybe he bounces back. Maybe that's an anomaly. I do like John's advantage at running back. I think that's Mostert has just been ridiculous, and now here comes Saquon Barkley. We can see what we can do. Maybe Eckler's back into form now. He's had a week or 2 to get kind of back wound up. We'll see if Kellen Moore even wants to use him the same way with the receiving.
Yeah.
On paper, John's receivers are terrifying. But if you look up at the rankings, his highest ranked receiver is Jordan Addison.
What's he ranked at?
Like 22.
Wow. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, because you would think you see Waddle, you see Olave, you're like, oh, those guys have got to be, even down years, they got to be top 16, but they're not. Jeff is without uber stud Adam Thielen, which he never thought he'd be missing. But I do love Jeff like the rest of the way down, like tight end, kicker, defense. I'm going to go Jeff. I mean, John just seems inept. He'll find a way to lose.
Man, I think that John's going to make a rebound at some point, but
if he does, it's going to be against Najee Harris. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm going to take the Rhinos as well, but Brock Purdy's got Minnesota. Maybe it's the Brock Purdy comeback week. Maybe just Cleveland was too good. But I think Mahomes on a Sunday afternoon. I'd like to need to look it up, but I don't think that the Kansas City has very many afternoon games. I think most of their games are evening games. So maybe if it's just like they're not on the spotlight of national television, it's not a Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night game. It's just a normal game at Arrowhead in the afternoon. I think I will always believe in Mahomes, but I'll take the Rhinos. What were you going to say? Tell us a little bit more about Najee Harris.
He's just been just a turd in the bed so far. Jeff loves him, and he's just going to keep rolling with him. But I like picking Jeff less, seeing him out there. But it's Mahomes. You gotta roll with Mahomes.
He's got Mahomes,
and I don't even think it. I disagree about the pressure. I think he's unrattleable.
Okay, well, I think that 2 players on Jeff's team that probably have more fear in me than anybody is Laporta and the Browns. I feel like his tight end and defense, especially this week going against Indy. I just think I think that was that may be the best waiver pickup of the year. May have been the Browns when Jeff got him for like $11.
Yeah, he keeps the defense. They're trash, but he finds this gem that's like
yes.
I mean, what is Myles Garrett going to do to what's the guy's name? The crazy guy, the quarterback for the Falcons. I
can see his beautiful hair. Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew, he threw 3 interceptions last week. What is he going to do? Cleveland's going to break him.
Yeah, they might. And they might break Pittman Jr. So, let's hit the next game. Another 3-3 versus 3-3. We've got a few of those, but this is a big game because it's either you're sitting pretty at 4-3 or you're 3-4 and you're wondering what happened.
Yeah, both teams really needing to find their way out of the desert here following a loss. Chad's got the clear advantage at quarterback, but then Jeremy counters with the clear running back advantage. I feel like is Montgomery back? Is he?
I'm not sure exactly. I think he might be out. I think he might be out for one more week.
Yeah, Kamara's getting all the touches, which I kind of surprised by that. Thought it'd be more of a share. Chad's guys were down. Are they going to bounce back? I don't believe in Kyron Williams, but he was great for a little while. The dude's receivers have been so good so far with Puka and Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
But Chad's are still better, I think. We'll have to see what's going on at quarterback in Vegas because Devonta Adams is just being wasted out there. But I don't know. That was his stupid choice to go there.
Yeah.
This is a tight one. Maybe this should have been game of the week, but I'll take Chad.
Oh man, I've got Chad too. Although I do think that Williams is hurt. I think, you know what? I'll take the dude abides. I'll take the dude abides. I like the Keenan Allen Puka, and I do like the Buffalo Bills against the New England Patriots to just score 35 points as a defense this week. So his defense is going to overcome his and I just think that you said I like the wide receivers for the dude abides so much. I think Puka's going to be great. And I think that Montgomery and Williams both might be out. So kind of both teams being hurt. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll take the dude abides. I'll take the car to go above 500.
That's going to be a fight. That's a cool tight end battle too. Over. Sorry, Andrew.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, go ahead. I was trying to squeeze it in like Indiana Jones grabbing the hat. Like,
yeah, great.
Shane and John. This is a very exciting one because I've just been informed by a very reliable source that these two have some added stakes in the game.
Oh my God.
If Shane wins, he gets to deliver the sermon the first Sunday of Advent. If John wins, he gets to coach the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs boys basketball team versus U.S. Grant on December 12th.
Holy smokes. What a deal. This is amazing.
So, I mean, we've never had stakes like this before.
Man, I'm so jealous that they have so much writing on the game. I actually thought in the middle of our game when I was behind, when Joe Burrow was throwing 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, I was like, I'm so glad we didn't make a bet because if you'll remember, I said out loud to the congregation last year when I lost to you in our matchup during the season, Aaron Copeland is a better fantasy football player than I and more handsomer. That's what I said out loud to the congregation. And the trade you would have had to come to church. So you are.
But I came to church anyway. It's a win-win.
Anyway, I am preaching again on November 5th, All Saints Day. So you'd also be invited to come to that if you wanted to. But what's your breakdown of this game and who do you like with the huge stakes? Because man, I think that U.S. Grant game would be so sick to go to if John can pull out one.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah.
1 of 6. It'd be awesome. Yeah.
Look, nobody should choose the Pharisees to win until they show they deserve it. Like, outside of Bijan, do you like a single one of his guys more than Shane's?
No.
The Pharisees will not be beating off a lot this week.
I will let that one slide and just say that I think that the Sweat Sox are a good team, coached well, and I can't wait for the sermon coming up on the first Sunday of Advent by Pastor Cowherd. That's gonna be exciting. So let's hit the game of the week.
Yes.
Again, thanks to the Greshams last week for the sponsors. It's amazing what each and every week that the kind of people contacting us about the show. This week, really want to say a huge thank you to Steelhead Oncology for reaching out this week and sponsoring this segment. This is quality care in the heart of Roseburg, the Steelhead Specialty Group. If you're looking for treatment that you need and the care that you want to say a big shout out for Steelhead Specialty Group based in Medford, Oregon for sponsoring this week's segment. I believe our contact through the office was a Dr. Joshua Weiss. So thank you to Josh Weiss and the Steelhead Specialty Group for the sponsorship this week. And the game of the week is?
Game of the week, Josh versus Jay. Sponsoring his own game. That's how very Josh.
Well, speaking of, do you have a hat that you want to show? Speaking of sponsoring things?
Oh, yeah, I took it off because my head got hot. But As the oncologist, Josh is a big fan of the NFL's Crucial Catch campaign. So he made sure we were all decked out in these rad hats.
Awesome, man.
Uh, his hat, he made him so happy. He put it on, and it was like a video game where you get like +5, whatever, like
Yeah.
+5 happiness when he put that hat on. And then when he turned around backwards, it was like doubled happiness +5. Also, he was crazy. He just, yeah, it was like a little, oh, I found a tag. No, it was terrific. But my head's still hot.
I love it. I think it's great. I can't believe he's trying to buy a win by
Yeah,
sponsoring his own segment. But I do think that
shameful.
the crucial catch is pretty fantastic as well. May need to get some gear myself. But crucial catch brought to you by the American Cancer Society. Maybe they'll have a sponsorship later in the season, so we'll see. But
Oh, wow.
break down the game of the week: 5-1 v 5-1.
Yeah, get your popcorn. The battle of the Alabama quarterbacks, playing one another in real life. Like,
Yes.
oh, it's
Yes.
so great.
So
On the
great.
field and in Sooner Nation. These guys are going at it.
On a Sunday night. This
Yeah.
the game. I love it.
Yeah, it was perfectly cast here.
Yeah.
Josh gets to face Jay with a bunch of heavy hitters on bye. I mean, it's still on the screen there.
Yeah.
Probably rolls with Jaleel McLaughlin, I guess. Whoever he picks up is not going to be as good as Etienne and the incomparable Rashad White.
League winner.
I'm afraid I'll go ahead.
League winner Rashad White, I believe is his name.
Exactly. I'm afraid all the guys Jay has out is going to rob us of what could have been like a really dynamite game with both guys at full power. Just hard to see Jay overcoming the deficit of the bye. Advantage Dr. Phantasm.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying to stick with what I write down. I only made one switch this week. I can't believe I went 0-6 2 weeks ago. That's actually kind of really, really hard to do. But yeah, I do think that the buys really mess with Jay. Although Jay works the waiver wire very well. He's a good bidder. If he wants a player, he gets the player. He's not bidding $4 for Craig Reynolds. I think he's already on a team, but whatever starter is out there to back up somebody, Jay will probably. I think Jay's actually probably secretively going to be like, it's okay if I lose this game because I'm 5-1. I've got a 2-game lead in my division. We'll just see what happens and not spend all of his money. But I think that the Ghosts are an elite team until Tua gets hurt. I think he's the favorite. So
wow, that's really interesting that you're calling Jay soft. I don't know how he's going to take that.
I don't know. We'll see. I do think that Jay is a very savvy coach. The Cowboys being out, I think hurts Jay too, because I think the Cowboys are fine as a defense. What Mike
terrifying
can do. And I think Hawkinson's better than Logan Thomas. I know there may be a chance that the Ghosts trade later in the season for a tight end to be able to make his team even that much better. We'll see. But he's got lots of picks to be able to trade to try to get that tight end to short up.
Oh yeah, he's flush. Yeah.
Okay.
And I know there's a free agent out there that a lot of people are going to be interested in. I don't want to name them, but I'm going to be anxiously watching the waivers tomorrow to see how that plays out.
Wednesday about 12:15, one of my favorite windows of the week. I scour that thing. I don't know how you do it, but I try to not look at who got the players. I go to the very end and and I see who bid for what and then how many other bids there were. And then I go back and go down and see who got what. I don't know why. I'm sure no one else does that, but I like to be able to kind of see who the big ticket items were, what they were purchased for, how much too much money was spent, or if there was one of those sniper bids when someone gets it for $12 and it's because somebody else bid 11. One of my favorite moments of the week. I feel like Saturdays have been really low. I feel like we've had like just a handful of pickups on Saturdays, but Wednesday has been rocking. So
yeah, it's exciting. It's just another dumb thing to look forward to.
I love it. Dumb things every day of the week. We've got Monday Night Football. We've got Tuesday, this dumb show that comes out every week. Wednesday waiver pickups. We've got game on Thursday night. Obviously Friday Night Football. We've got Saturday night. We've got Saturday for the waiver pickups, and then we get Sunday. And
every day we got something every day.
Monday Night Football, something every day. It's so great. Welcome to football season, and I'm already sad that this is going to be already. We have at week 7. It's just absolutely stunning. Worst of luck to the Cobras this week. One
Yeah.
last note from me. This weekend, if it all works out well, I will be having a picture of me with the Galloping Ghosts head coach, franchise owner at the University of Illinois football game. We're both going to be at the Washington State game, sitting on the same side of the field. So pretty excited to Dr. Weiss.
You're taking the payoff in person then. The payoff for the game of the week.
Yeah. I'm hoping actually for a sponsored Crucial Catch hat. I'm hoping that he'll come up with a chart. I want to. Hey Josh, when you watch this, get that automatic quick ship. I want some sort of Chargers gear with the Crucial Catch. I also want to support American Cancer Society. So if you want to get that shipped directly to your house, bring it up to the game. I will gladly wear whatever hat you bring me, stocking cap or cap. I will gladly wear it at the game and get our picture taken. So thanks, buddy, in advance.
Josh, I want you to take a dump in a hat and just put it on his head.
Thanks for watching.
Big old fat, just one of your goats.